this is Ruben Lerner. Welcome back to my Python video explainer series. And this time we're going to talk about adding to and replacing items in a dictionary. So let's say I create a new dictionary, A1, B2, let's do it this way, B2, C3. And I want to add a new item to this dictionary. Well, I can say here, D of square brackets, let's say Z equals 100. And sure enough, I've now added the pair Z100. Notice the key here is a string, and the value here, well, can be anything at all, of course. All right, and so now I'm able to pull it out with D of Z. That works pretty well. Okay, how can I replace the value of 100 with 200 that's associated with the key Z? Well, I do the same thing. D of Z equals 200. And now D of Z is 200, and sure enough, my dictionary has changed. So first of all, we see by this that dictionaries are mutable. We can indeed change them. We also see that dictionaries, in dictionaries, we don't have separate ways of adding to the dictionary and replacing an item as we would with, say, lists. In a dictionary, you use exactly the same syntax to add to the dictionary. So we added here D of Z equals 100. And to update the dictionary, D of Z equals 200 if you're just doing one individual key value pair. And so people often get confused by this in my courses, and when I talk to them in general, it's kind of hard to understand that I'm going to use exactly the same syntax to add or to replace. But basically what the dictionary is doing is saying, wait, do I already have this key? If so, then I'm going to just replace the value. But if I don't have the key, then I'm going to add that value. Regardless of how you are adding in Z here, though, at the end, or regardless of whether Z already exists, at the end of the day, you're going to have here Z equals 200 in your dictionary. So is that really the only way we can add or update into our dictionary? Sort of, kind of. We have two other ways that we can do it as well. One is the set default method. So what I can do here is, it's not S. S does not exist. I can say here D. So D is my dictionary. And let's say I want to add the key value pair. Let's say I want to add X equals 100 to my dictionary. So I could say D of X equals 100, and that will definitely do it. But I can also say D of set default X 100. And what that means is add X and 100 if X isn't already in there in D. And sure enough, we get that back the value 100. And 100 means, yes, the value associated with X is now 100. And sure enough, if we check in our dictionary, that happens to be true. But what if I do it now as D set default of X and 567? Look what I get back, 100. And what that basically means is, hey, we already had a value here for X. Don't start messing with it. Don't try to change it. And indeed, I'm not going to change it. So set default basically says, I want to add this key value pair if the key is new. But if the key already exists, then I'm not going to change the value associated with it. A sort of more overwhelming way of doing this is to use update. So if I say here, new stuff equals, and we'll say here C 300, D 400, E 500, X 600. I can now say D update of new stuff. And what's going to happen is that everything in new stuff is going to become a part of D. So every key value pair in new stuff will now be in D. And that means that originally D had A1, B2. But now we added all these things, C 300, well, and then D 400, and X 600, and E 500. Wait a second, though. We already had C was 3. Why is C now 300? Because the new, the argument here, the dictionary that we're adding, that takes priority. So what we're saying is, in update, what we're saying is basically add the key value pairs from new stuff to D. And if that happens to collide, if they happen to have the same key, then new stuff takes priority. It won't merge them. It's just going to take the things from new stuff and add them in there. And if you saw my video about updating sets, this is exactly the same idea, except now we have key value pairs instead of just values. So that's how we can add to a dictionary, and that's how we can update values in a dictionary. I will soon be back with a new video on more things having to do with dictionaries. All right, thanks for watching. Please tell your friends and colleagues, recommend the videos, and hope to see you in the next video.